appearing randomly like that while we were in the middle of our debriefing.
on debrief. But we're back in the booth with our semifinals. We got Aaron on
Just guy.
Jesk I, and then Andrew on Gruul Aggro. So a little less of a popular deck and an incredibly popular deck with, oh no, wait, he's definitely on I.
Okay, sorry. Aaron is on.
There we go.
There
We're
we go.
updated. We're
Okay,
good.
Aaron's on Gruul Aggro. Andrew's on Just guy. Apologize
So
for that.
we're all good. I just didn't press the update on the little panel thing. So,
It's always Jake's fault.
yep, I can't help it. But thanks everyone for hanging out. If you haven't yet, like, comment, and subscribe on the YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure you give us a subscribe and a follow. Make sure you get caught up with everything, or keep getting caught up with everything that goes on here at Impact Gaming Center. So, Just Guy and Gruul, what do you got with this matchup?
Let's look over the deck list for Gruul Aggro. It kind of looks pretty simple. Nothing too crazy.
Pretty stock Gruul.
Yeah, nothing crazy. 4 Screaming Nemesis, 3 Questing Druids, 4 Mouses, 4 Ember Heart Challenger. It looks pretty stocked. Like, nothing's crazy about it, at least in the main. We'll talk about sideboards later. But right now, Gruul Aggro looks pretty stocked. There doesn't look like there's anything too crazy in it.
And then we got Andrew on Just Guy. So that's I being Oculus. Abhorrent Oculus. I'd say a pretty infamous Magic card that when it came out really, blew up into popularity. So Just Guy, the idea with Just Guy is you're trying to get Oculus in the graveyard early in the game and use a card called Helping Hand to bring it back.
Yep. I think if Andrew can do that quickly, I think it'll be really hard for Aaron to beat that. It's a
Yeah.
5/5 flyer that gets you a body every single turn to block an aggro deck.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
Especially on Aaron's upkeep, which means you have to respond to it then. But Aaron starting off here with a Paw Patch Recruit, great one drop, really punishes decks for, interacting with your own creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew with a Surveil Land, dumping a Spell Pierce.
Yep, which probably good. Not going to be great into this matchup.
Aaron with the Ridgeline and Kraken with the Bunny for 2.
Aaron's off to a pretty good start. Got 2 good creatures.
That Heartfire Hero card is incredibly good.
Yes.
It has Valiant, so it gets counters when it's targeted by your own spells, and then when it dies, it deals its power to any player, I believe. So it becomes a 2/2 or 3/3, and when you have to deal with it, it hurts you for dealing damage to it.
Yep.
But Andrew coming out, we're gonna torch the tower, target the bunny.
Yep, and put a counter on the other guy, and
yep.
Yeah, like you said, now it's going to be 2 damaged whenever he does deal with it. But it does exile, so that's one of those things. Like, would it have been better for Andrew to hit the mouse and exile it
rather than the Paw Patch? I don't think I think it would really help if Andrew had 2 removal spells, but I think he's trying to keep up for pumping interactions. So unless he has another one where he can just torch the rabbit, but if Aaron had a pump spell that could get it out of 2 damage strike range because of the Paw Patch, it could get out of hand really fast. Yeah. Paw Patch is a cool card. You have to respect it.
You do. You definitely do. But the thing, if he would have gone after the other one, I forgot what it's called.
Heartfire Hero, I think.
Paw Patch cannot put a counter on itself.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Go ahead and play another one, and now it's over to Andrew's turn.
There's a
Seachrome Coast.
Seachrome and Duelist of the Mind.
That's a good card. Every time he draws a card, it gets 1 power. And then whenever it has vigilance and flying, so obviously it's just a great body. It's an 0/3, I believe. And then whenever you draw a card, and then whenever you
commit a crime, you loot.
You draw this card. Yep. And so it can definitely get pretty
big. It can get pretty big pretty fast, and it's just there to keep your hand churning and get that eyeball in the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew leaving up a 1 land. I know he had a. Oh, there's a Wishstalker Frenzy for it. I know he had a Spell Pierce, so let's see if Andrew responds with anything. But I don't think it's going to pay off if he wants to Spell Pierce because Aaron has 4 or 2 lands up. But there goes a Duelist. to the graveyard. I think that Witchstalker Frenzy is an absurd card that it pays you off for attacking with your own creatures.
Yep, because it costs one less for every attacking creature, and
Yep.
so your creatures count for attacking. So it definitely makes it a lot better.
Andrew with an opt. Do you remember if Consider's still in the format?
I believe it is, but I could be wrong on that.
Gotcha. And here's 3 for a Monastery Mentor.
Another great card.
Good
in this
old
matchup.
Fate Reforged staple.
What it does, it has prowess, and then every time Andrew casts the non-creature spell, he creates a 1/1 prowess monk.
Monk.
Token.
Yep.
So again, just another great creature to create more creatures to kind of flood this battlefield. So to slow Aaron down, and that way Andrew can kind of catch back up.
Yeah, it's so.
It's also a 2/2, which is also a great blocker by itself.
Yes, it's a 2/2 that becomes a 3/3 really fast. There is the. Let's see, that's Manifold Mouse. That the Manifold Mouse can give another mouse, or I think it's the only mouse specifically, either double strike or trample.
Which, lucky for Aaron, everything on the battlefield is a mouse right now, I believe.
No, Pop Patch is a rabbit.
Oh, it's a rabbit? Okay.
But that does trigger the Valiant triggers on the little guys. I think it's Heartfire Heroes. Or yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Heartfire Hero.
I think you're right. And so right now there's 2/2/2s coming in at Andrew. It looks like Aaron's choosing not to attack with the Paw Patch because I don't think
He wants to trade. Yeah, he doesn't want to trade it off
Yeah.
into the Monastery Mentor.
Yeah.
But Andrew down to 4. Hasn't even touched Aaron yet.
Oh,
And
there
it looks like we're scooping up, and we're going to
Gruul Aggro does Gruul Aggro things.
next game. So we're going to kick it back to the booth, and let's talk about some sideboards. So I'll take the Jesk list if you want to take the Gruul Aggro list.
Okay. I'll let you start. Go ahead and start.
So we got a 1 Row Crackling Wit. I think that's the Otter Row. 1 Chandra Spark Hunter. 1 Spell Pierce. 2 Ghost Vacuum. 2 Brotherhood's Ends. 4 Sheltered by Ghost. 4 Break the Spell. Which in this matchup, I don't know what Break the Spell does, but
I am not too sure either.
But I imagine, bringing in those Shelter by Ghosts is great.
Brother Sheridan is probably going to be pretty
Yeah,
good too.
definitely a good sideboard addition. Spell Pierce, The
I
problem,
take him out, yeah.
you gotta respect the monstrous rages, but the problem is those Valiant triggers already go off, so by targeting it, so it doesn't really matter. Break the Spell is an enchantment destroying card, so
Destroy
Probably
target
not.
enchantment if a permanent you control or a token was destroyed this way, draw a card. So yeah, I don't. Yeah.
yeah, I don't think we're bringing that card in unless you want to try a monstrous roll token, but I don't think that's great.
No. And as for Aaron, his sideboard would be 1 Pyroclasm, 1 I'm not sure what that says.
Dreadmaw's Fire, I think.
Okay, I'm not okay. 1 Witchstalker's Frenzy doesn't seem great. 1 Ghost Vacuum, which I would bring in this matchup. 1 Questing Druid, which is probably also good. 1 Sentinel of the Nameless City. 2. I can't read that either. Obliterary Bolt.
Obliterating Bolt.
Okay, Obliterating Bolt.
It's
That makes
I think
more
it's a I think it deals 5 and it exiles.
Okay. And then 3 Paw Patch formation, which probably is pretty decent against
It
other woodsmen.
destroys a creature with flying, so it's really good versus the eyeball.
Okay. 2 Sunspine Lynxes and then 2 Torch the Towers.
So I would say if I'm the aggro player here, getting in these Obliterating Bolt's probably good. Paw Patch formation, great.
Yeah.
Sunspine Lynx might be okay. I think it's a little slow for this matchup. I think you want to bring that in versus Domain.
I think Ghost Vacuum is also really good. Hit that graveyard so that you can never play Oculus if you don't have 6 cards in your graveyard. So it makes that a lot worse.
Paw Patch formation is green and 1. Destroy target creature with flying, destroy target enchantment, or draw a card, make a food. So we've seen this naturalize back to nature effect a lot lately in Standard. It's kind of wild how power creep to naturalize has become.
Yeah. And like we were talking about in the last round, not a single artifact on that card.
No. artifacts being one enchantments are super heavy played in standard right now. They're really good, but
Overlords are very, very popular.
Overlord's good. The Paw Patch, Innkeeper's Talent, all these cards are great, and you gotta play enchantment removal. But a lot of these cards only destroy either a artifact or an enchantment, or they only destroy one, but they do a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a weird middle ground of what do I want to play to deal with what's popular, and maybe for Aaron, there's just a realistic world where you don't oversideboard and
No,
you
I
just
think
keep
you
it.
just got to go fast, and if you like,
Yep.
yeah. If I think if he does overside board, like he just becomes too slow, and Andrew
Yeah.
can just kind of run away with the game.
It's Gruul Aggro is one of the best decks in standard right now. It's hard to argue against that with how consistent and fast it is.
It's fast, and it has a little bit of reach with being able to target your own things with the mouse that allows you to play top of your library and stuff like that. It's just a really well put together deck.
It is the only worry that I have is if Andrew's able to pick off all of Aaron's little dudes and maybe a really good timed Brotherhoods like that turn 3 Brotherhoods end that wipes the boards. Andrew probably, fingers crossed, doesn't get hit in the face by a bunch of these Heartfire heroes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think Andrew just got to kind of take care of the early creatures and then let Aaron rebuild his board and then blow it out.
Yep. But we're gonna kick it to the battlefield.
Nice.
I think we're gonna be starting up here pretty soon.
Looks like Aaron might be second guessing himself. It looked like he went down, shuffled, and then now he's redoing his sideboard.
This is open deck list, so players can see what their opponents might be bringing in. They don't get to see exactly what they're bringing in, but they get to see their sideboard contents.
And that is huge knowledge for you can't. It's hard to have like a gotcha card in these type of matches because like you can see the gotcha card coming, so you gotta. So it's
But at the same time, I've heard the theory of if you're going into an open deck list tournament, maybe playing some one ofs just because your opponent has to respect the one of the entire time.
That's true. Yeah, that's actually
it's you get in their mind. Like say you have a one of Spell Pierce in the sideboard, and your control player is like, oh, I got to get this Wrath down. But what if they have the Spell Pierce? What if they have the one of? It while I think it makes for slightly more interesting games, it also can be detrimental for you as a player.
You just can't overthink it. I think it's a big thing. It's like sometimes you just have to make them have it, and if they have it, they have it. If they don't.
Yeah, I sometimes in the open sideboard games I'll take a glance at it, but I'm not gonna I'll know what they have, but I'm not gonna let it dictate how I play the game.
Yeah, I agree. Especially if it's like one ofs, it's like
you have it. If you don't, you don't. Yeah. One player's gonna win the game.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody always. Well, I guess not always. Sometimes there's a tie, but
there would be at some point there would be a victor though.
Yeah.
In this matchup, I don't think we're going to time though.
No, definitely not.
So. Gotta give
Aaron the win dot.
Where is it? Red player.
Find it. Should be somewhere. A win marker. Here it is. Red win marker. Looks like we got keepable hands here. Aaron looks like he has 7. I did not see if Andrew mulliganed. Start off with Spy Blush now. A good red-blue land untaps. And then here's the hero that we were talking about last game. I don't think it's the hero, though. Yeah, Heartfire hero?
Heartfire hero, yeah.
Heartfire hero. There we go. Andrew will opt at the end of his turn.
There we go. I got it.
Took a little bit. We got it. There's Aaron's little red dot for that he won.
We're letting Alex take a break today. There's a lot of things going on right now. There's a Pokemon tournament. There's One Piece going on.
There was 6 events going on. I don't remember all of them. But.
Saturdays are one of the busiest days here at Impact. So we're letting Alex, help out the behind the desk crew and Jeff and all of them, and letting us drive the car today. We're
a little bit of growing pains, though. We know it mostly.
I know roughly what I'm doing mostly in the booth. There are a few things I would definitely say I am not an expert at, But hey, we're here to learn. We're here to have fun.
Oh,
But
there's the
here's this
mouse.
manifold mouse that's going to get out and start triggering this Valiant on the little Heartfire hero. Hopefully, we'll see if Andrew has a response to this or not.
Andrew does torch the tower, the hero.
So that does not let the death trigger resolve. So we're not going to get smacked in the face for, a measly one. But in these matchups, every little life
Every life
can
counts.
count. What is this guy? I think
I-
this is just a wall.
I mean, wall. Oh, is it? I don't see power and toughness on it, but I could be wrong with it. I can't tell what that art is though. It looks like he draw and it's Charter Course. He drew 2 and
Oh,
discarded a
it's
card.
okay. I just don't know that art for Charter Course.
Yeah, I don't either. So he Charter Course, put Monastery Mentor into the graveyard. I'm assuming he has some sort of reanimation effect because I
Do you
don't.
think we mistapped here and meant to leave up the helping hand, or was he just waiting for it?
He might not have had the land, so he didn't
Okay,
have the land out when he played Monastery Mentor.
gotcha,
So it's a chance he didn't even have the third land
gotcha. Well, there's the paw patch
with
with
Offspring.
Offspring. So Offspring makes a 1/1 copy of whatever creature you're offspringing with. It has all the same key, all the same text, all the same everything,
Just,
except it's just a 1/1 instead.
I think it's a really cool design.
I think Offspring is one of the coolest designed. I mean, for all intents, just kicker, right?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. But it's a kicker with a triggered ability when it comes in, so you can stop
Yeah.
the triggered ability.
And when it comes to keeping track of it and remembering what things do, I love it because all you need to know, this is a 1/1, and it says it in the reminder text of what it is, but it's a 1/1, and if you ever have questions, the main card's right there.
Yeah.
So here we go with a Brotherhood's
There it
End.
is. Just wipe that
As
board.
we were talking about, a good Brotherhood's End can keep Andrew alive for a few more turns, and all these bunnies and rabbits are going to get burned up and pass it back to Aaron.
That being said, Aaron only lost 2 cards. Technically.
Yes, technically, he
it
only
was a-
did lose 2 things.
Yeah, so it was a 2-for-1 for Andrew, which is obviously very good, but Aaron is definitely not out of this by any means.
Here's another Heartfire.
Take one. He's going to target it with his land, try to pump it up, but before that, he's going to torch the tower.
Torch. What are we getting? And he gets gone and exiled.
And then Andrew untapping 4 mana, potentially 5, nothing on the battlefield. I think Andrew's in a very good spot right now. And it looks like he has 6 cards in his graveyard.
Figured out how Scryfall worked. Okay, we can pull up Scryfall now. We figured this out.
There's the duelist again. Gets +1/+0 for every card you draw whenever you target something.
Here, let's do this.
Yeah, that works too, since we got Scryfall working now.
Oh, look, Scryfall's so awesome when you just type things in horribly. And here is Duelist of Mind for everyone. Flying Vigilance, star 3, when its power is equal to the number of cards you've drawn this turn. And then whenever you commit a crime, you get to loot. This ability triggers only once each turn. But our friendly neighborhood duelist here is going to fly in and do some damage. I think it's wild. This card's not a wizard, it's an advisor.
Yeah. And it is also the Worlds card.
It is.
For Nathan, who won Worlds.
Yeah, I think these world cards have been some of the coolest cards they've ever printed.
Mm-hmm. Fairy Mastermind, I believe, was.
Yep, Fairy Mastermind. There's the Apollo card. That was the one that was in Throne of Eldraine.
I know what I can't think of the name of it, but I know what you're talking about.
Fervent Champion.
I think so.
The Paulo Dia Rosa
Yep.
promo. Here is what's this one?
Got another mouse that whenever you target it, he can look at or you exile the top card and then you can cast it till the end of the turn. And he flips the Screaming Nemesis.
I think this one is Ember Heart Challenger.
Which is unfortunate for Aaron because he does not have the 3rd mana for.
Yep, here's our little mouse right here for you guys to see. So Ember Heart Challenger, it's a 2/2 haste prowess valiant. Whenever it comes to target a spell you control for the first time each turn, exile the top card of your library until in turn you may play the card. So an incredibly popular card.
Very strong.
Very strong. Prowess and valiant is such a wild combination on a card.
Let's just throw haste on there too.
Yeah. How do you like valiant over heroic? If you really remember the difference.
I don't really remember it 100%, but I feel like Valiant allows you to do more things with it. I could be wrong.
Oh, here's a Shelter by Ghost. Gonna put this on the duelist and probably take out this mouse here.
Oh yeah, he does commit a crime, so he does get to loot.
Yep.
He's going to discard a mountain. Don't need lands anymore.
Is that a Jurassic Park land? Look at the dinosaur. And we're going to crack in for, I think, 2 because he gets the 1 for the card you drew this turn.
And then for committing a
And,
crime.
well, you committing a crime. Oh, it's 3. And then you the Shelter by Ghost gives you +1 as well. And he has lifelink too. So I think Andrew's back up to 17. But here's another Emberheart.
That's pretty good. You try and target it, make it to where you can see the. Oh, maybe not.
We got a removal spell.
Oh,
And here's another torch. Oh my gosh. Andrew's a running torch the towers.
That's what Andrew's got to do in order to win this game.
Yeah. So he could possibly save it here by, torching the Duels of the Mind. He can just opt to not pay for the ward, but it does save the mouse because it will be a 3/3 because of prowess.
Well, because it's Torch the Tower is bargain. You do 3 damage, correct?
Yeah, but you have to sacrifice an artifact or enchantment.
Oh, okay.
And an artifact, enchantment, or token, I believe.
Okay. So I was thinking.
So Andrew could have bargained, but he would have had to sack his own Shelter by Ghost, and I don't think that's something he wants to be
Nah,
doing.
definitely not worth it.
What was that? It was a counterspell, I assume. Well, did he target his own? I'm unsure.
Which part are you unsure about? So he
The card under the torch.
Oh, he looted that away. I don't know what it was.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't know if that mattered or not.
So he flips the mountain, plays the mountain, swings.
Kraken for 3?
But there's already 2 damage on it technically.
Yes.
So it's one of those. Andrew can trade. He loses his guy, and then he gets a heart. So.
But
idea
we're just
not
gonna. I think we're just gonna take the 3 here.
I think that's a good idea.
We're gonna try to keep up with life totals. It's hard when they don't. We really can't hear them very well. But
Still has him at 17, so I'm not sure what happened there.
I think we just let the Emberheart hit in because Duels of the Mind's just gonna keep cracking in for 2 and gaining 2.
Yep. I think they have stopped using the phone. So, oh, there it is. He's fixing it now.
I think we're gonna update it here. 13 to 15.
Unfortunately, sometimes you just forget the phone. You're so used to writing it down that.
Yeah. Helping Hand, get back the Mentor.
There it is.
Helping Hand does make the creature come back tapped, which can matter a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't just. But I think the idea with Helping Hand, these specific 3 drops back. Well, there's the go. Ooh, if Ghost Vacuum return too late. But the idea with these Helping Hand decks is to get something that makes a blocker the second you get it back, anyways.
Yeah.
So we're gonna target the mouse, see what we get first before we do any attacks.
I mean, it's smart. See what's on top of the library. Maybe something good.
Ooh, a monstrous rage. That's a big one.
That's good. Yeah, and it's only for the first. And then that's the thing. The challenger only triggers once per turn, so he can't like chain it off. Well, Monstrous Rage gives it +2/+0, and then
A
Wicked?
monster roll token,
Monster roll token,
which
Wicked's
is
the other.
+1/+1 trample.
Yeah.
There's the rage.
It's kind of confusing to do the math because they get the +1/+1 from the roll, and then they also get +2/+0, and then sometimes they have prowess, and it can be very annoying to do the math sometimes.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things that go into that specific card, and I've heard a lot of very good Magic players talk about how it makes the core fundamental of blocking and standard not matter. And this is a big mouse because it's got trample. We played the Ghost Vacuum, so it also has prowess from that. Not so
plus the land targeting it for another +1/+0.
So it's probably a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 5 something big mouse.
About to find out. So let's see how much damage.
That was a massive mouse.
8 damage.
Holy moly, that's a big old mouse.
All right, let's see how Andrew. I still think Andrew's in a fine position. He's gaining 2 life every turn. He still has a flyer and then he also has the Monastery Mentor, so he's going to start chaining.
There's a Thassa.
Kiora?
or Cura, sorry. Cura, Thassa, they're merfolk. I don't remember what half of them do. So
Cura, whenever it attacks and you have at least 7 cards in your graveyard, create the 8/8 legend. I think
legendary,
Octopus.
it's a Kraken or something.
Yeah, something like that.
It matters. It's a blocker that looted cards away, and if it attacks next turn, makes something that's probably so big Aaron can't beat it.
Yeah. Looks like we're 9 to 11. Looks like Aaron's going to eat something out of the graveyard. It's very key to keep that graveyard small.
Oh yeah,
Cura.
we gotta keep things out of the graveyard for
Yeah.
Cura. But there's also a realistic world where if Aaron hits enough creatures, there he's hitting
Oh,
his
he's just
own
trying to eat his
creature.
own, okay.
He could bring them all back with the activated mana cards, which Aaron has been flooding out, but you know,
I think that's smart because like eating one card, Andrew has 4, 8, 12 cards. Eating one card's not going to do anything. There's no creatures in there that he has to worry about for reanimation. So it's just might as well eat your own, and then maybe in a turn or two, if he lives that
Yeah.
long, he can just like you said.
realistically, you're not catching up one card turn with this Vekos vacuum to stop the Cura. They're not going to happen. But we're gonna land, target the mouse. See what we get. We get a Copperline Gorge.
This was the reach I was talking about. Like it can be fast, but it also has a little bit of reach. Aaron has flipped like 4 or 5 cards off the top of his library thanks to that.
Well, we're gonna manifold. We're gonna offspring this manifold mouse, which is gonna give this Emberheart Challenger probably trample
Double strike,
and double strike, which is
a lot of damage.
a lot of damage. And Andrew in hand has Duels to the Mind and Spell Pierce, so he's got no interaction for this.
Mm-hmm. This is one of those things like we were talking about. Like, do you take Spell Pierce out? Do you keep it in? Like, it can be good, but it can kind of be a dead card in his hand.
It's really good when Aaron's being proactive, but Aaron's flooded a bit. But this showing that this red green deck can still do a lot of things even if it's flooding out.
So much mana. You can cast anything and target anything that he wants, and
But I mean that's just another thing of Standard. Like all these cards do so much. And in previous Standards, your cards came in, they did their thing, and they kind of died.
done. Yeah.
You're done. But you know, Aaron over here, he's got a land. He's got a man land. He's got a land that targets his mice to see more of his deck. He's playing these little creatures that make other little creatures that buff each other. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just showing a power of even in these Gruul decks.
They're pretty good deck. So we'll see. He's swinging with the challenger. I'm assuming they did the double strike trample. We're not
Probably.
100% sure.
I'm not sure why you would choose double trample. Unfortunately, that's not how Magic works. Yes, I would like double flying.
Or do double strike twice.
Oh, quadruple strike. Ugh.
I would like to hit you 4 times, please.
Oh, put that on like a gliss or something. Oh, that'd be nuts.
Do you think they'll ever add something more than double strike?
I sure hope not.
Or do you like double flying or something like that?
Double. I think you just can't be blocked at that point.
True.
High flying is how they used to call it back in the old days.
Okay, so it looks like it was first strike trample? Or
Oh, the double strike is a
that
first
makes
strike.
sense,
So
yeah, true. So he took 2, I think he said. Oh no, he goes.
no, you don't.
takes
This
it.
deck doesn't hit for 2. This deck hits for infinite damage. Apparently.
Well, there was trample and blocking some damage, right? I think Andrew needs a spell here. He needs a spell to trigger the prowess, and then hopefully, kind of maybe an opt into.
Oh, I think he
something
drew a
else.
land.
That is not good for Andrew. It was
Nope.
looking so good for him for a little bit.
And doesn't have that cure around anymore to give, make that big old octopus.
Yeah.
He has, so he's going to play another Duels to the Mind. If Aaron plays a non-creature spell, the duelists will get bigger if he, even playing the Spell Pierce just to interact with a spell. So we're going to go with that duelist.
They do have flying, so it's not like they're in
Flying
any danger.
vigilance.
Yeah.
When did WotC decide that blue gets vigilance?
What's the color wheel anymore?
I don't think it matters.
You're going to go ahead and eat the Cura, so that would be a good one to.
That'd be a big thing. Andrew really we call his deck is Jesk Eye, but we haven't seen
Haven't seen a single.
haven't seen an eye. Which this deck kind of lives and breathes by.
Another land for Aaron. So he has 2
Holy
lands.
moly.
That's so many lands. But
But these green red aggro decks play so many lands because the cards do so much now.
obviously we have perfect information right now, right? But if Aaron just pops his Ghost Vacuum and then swings with everything, I think he can win this turn. But obviously we know Andrew has nothing in his hand besides Spell Pierce. That's not going to do anything in this
No.
instance.
Not one bit, no.
But that would be he'd get his mouse back.
Do the monks on Monster Mentor have lifelink at all?
No,
Just prowess?
prowess one once.
Gotcha. Do you remember that card was like $30?
It's a great card. Just power creep is a thing.
It's even in its day, it was never really a standard card. It was like a legacy card.
Yeah.
That for a while the Delver decks played. But it looks like we're gonna village up this mouse.
Yep. Let's see the top card. Maybe.
What do we get?
Oh,
Screaming Nemesis.
that's a good one. This will actually be very good for Aaron because it stops.
You just want to type it in.
Yeah, it stops Andrew from being able to heal if the ability does hit.
So here's Screaming Us for everyone. It is a red 2/3/3 spirit with haste, and whenever it's dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any other target. If a player is dealt damage this way, they can't gain life for the rest of the game.
Which is huge. It's not until it leaves the battlefield; it's for the whole game. Even
Yeah,
if
it's just
Nemesis
it
leaves.
just says you don't gain life anymore. What's wild? This card's $20.
It was more for a bit.
It was. I think it was like 30. Well, last time I looked, it was like 35.
And so you might as well swing with the Nemesis because like either way.
Oh, Screaming Nemesis is a card that it's like a ball lightning almost.
Yeah.
You play it and you have zero desire if this card lives or dies. But the thing is, it's wild because it's also it's also insane on defense.
Yeah, you can't swing into it because otherwise Andrew loses his
Yes.
lifelink. But if Andrew blocks the Screaming Nemesis, I think blocking with his 0-3 Duelist would be pretty good. Stop the damage. You don't take damage, and I think that's exactly where you want to be.
But I think Andrew I think Andrew really wants to. I don't know what his goal is here because he's got to figure out a way to win this game. I don't know if that's if that's playing an eyeball, if that's making one of these duelists big enough to survive. He's got to get a clock going. He's been on defense for this entire game, even with Aaron flooding out.
I think Andrew needs another board wipe. I think his second Brotherwood's Hand is kind of his only out.
And you know what's wild?
I think Aaron kind of missed out here. I think he should have swung with both of his.
All of it.
All of it. Like there's no reason to keep those mice back.
No. You know what also is wild? That we are on turn what, like 7, 9 here? What, I don't even 1, 2, 3.
He has 9 lands. 5, I don't think he's missed
9.
a single hand drop.
What turn did we cast this Monstrous Rage?
Yeah, that's been around for a bit.
That roll token has been there since like turn 4. This is the power of Monstrous Rage. We should ban it. But
okay, Andrew's going down to 1.
Holy moly.
See, that's another why did Aaron not swing with those 2 mice?
Yeah.
If Andrew draws his Brotherwood's Hint here, actually he can't play it because he deals 3 damage.
No, I think he drew. I don't know what he drew. I think he drew a land or something. The problem is if Andrew has to go. Here's a Cura.
I don't think that does it though.
Well, we're gonna just keep drawing cards. I think.
Oh yeah, you do draw 2, discard 2. So
I think his goal here is I need to draw 6 cards this turn. How am I gonna do it? We don't know.
Yeah.
But I gotta draw 6 cards.
Brotherwood's End would not win it. He would actually lose in the game.
He would die to the Screaming Nemesis.
Yeah. So he needs to deal with that and then somehow kill everything else.
Why was Anger of the Gods not in Foundations?
The world may never know.
There's an opt. Okay, so we've drawn 3 cards. We're on 4, right?
He torched the tower. That's a good one.
That's a great one. Because that's gonna. So right now we're a 5 power.
I'll put him down 2.
We can put him down to because he hasn't committed a crime this turn. Andrew can torch this Ember Heart.
Torch Tower does not hit people, correct?
No.
Okay.
He can torch his mouse, do the other
the mouse
rummage.
Is 2/2.
Yeah,
it would 3/3. You would have to kill one of the other ones, though.
I mean, yeah, I guess he could kill one of the manifold mouses. So
Yeah.
Aaron has to choose between trample or double strike.
Which I mean would also just be really good for him.
Oh, that'd be insane.
But we also have to remember that Ghost Vacuum's there.
Oh, that Ghost Vacuum can pop, and
if it has haste, like the creature has haste.
No, the mouse doesn't have haste. I think we're just swinging him with the Duelist.
Gain 5 life, deal 5 damage. Come back up to 6.
You could also. I mean, you could bargain your Sheltered by Ghost just to get a mouse that doesn't have trample. I guess it doesn't matter. It has trample because of the other two mice, anyways.
Yeah, but he
And
can do that at the beginning of combat or like
yeah,
after the declare attackers, and that way you do kill his 3/3 or whatever, and
yeah,
then he can't attack with the 2/2.
that's fair.
And then if he blocks the Screaming Nemesis with his 0/3, he may.
There might be a way out of this. I don't know, but that's up for them to figure out, not us.
Yep, that's why we're in the booth and they're in the top 8, right? Okay.
Oh, there's Screaming Nemesis. This might be.
I think that might be it.
This might be the game.
He can deal with one, but I don't think he can deal with two.
No. Well, you'd have to block it with this Kiora.
Take
Well, I mean, he has to block something. I don't know. I don't know where. I mean, he's at a theoretical 7, right?
Yeah, because he'll gain 1 life from it, and then potentially an 8 if he does commit a crime, which we know he has. So
Yeah.
I think he's debating on how to tap, and that way he can potentially use this Ghost Vacuum. Because I don't know why you would tap that land otherwise. I feel like you have to target your Ember Heart and just keep getting cards off the top of your library. I think that's.
Yeah. We got 19 viewers in the chat. What do you guys think?
I'm thinking Aaron's going to the finals, honestly.
Think so? I don't know. I mean,
just Screaming Nemesis, swing. Swing with everything. Again, I think Aaron missed. Obviously, he missed lethal. We know this because not swinging with his 2 mice last turn. I don't know how you deal with two Screaming Nemesis coming at you,
especially when you're at 6, and if you block them wrong, they just smack you in the face.
Yep. And then he's going to pump his 3/3 and give him a double strike trample, so you have to deal with that also. So it's just I don't think there's enough with 1 land and what's on the battlefield for Andrew to take care of it. And I think Aaron might be overthinking this.
So I don't think about a Magic player. Sometimes when you're in the top 8, we don't know. Do you know if they split or not?
They split prizes, but they're obviously
playing for the invites. Yeah. Okay.
And the promo foil Force
of Despair. A little bit of a lackluster one, but okay. Here's Nemesis. Are we going to animate this ridgeline? We are going to animate this ridgeline.
I like this.
Look up Restless Ridgeline. It is you can pay 4. It becomes a 3/4 red-green dinosaur. Whenever it attacks, another target creature gets +2/+1 on turn. Untap that creature. So.
Okay, it looks like Andrew, with all the triggers on the battlefield, is going to kill one of the mice. And that way it cannot get double strike and.
Well, it's already got trample. So.
Oh, because so it does have double strike. I think Andrew's. Yep, there it is. Yep.
And there's the game.
That's crazy that he flooded so hard and it was still just a walk in the park for him.
So that was awesome. That was a really close game. That was really cool. Really showing the power of 2 of these standard decks with, Jesk is a cool deck. Is it as strong as the boogeyman of the format, like the red-green aggro deck? I
don't know, but we'll figure that out later. We have to take a quick break. That way we can set up for the finals.
Yeah, but before we get out of here, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Make sure you're getting all the latest videos. There's content comes out any day of the week with Impact. If you're into fighting games, board games, they kind of got something for everyone. Miniatures, Gundams.
Beyblade. They have Beyblade here.
They have Beyblade. Yeah, you guys have never seen Beyblade. They play that. I didn't know there was competitive Beyblade. I don't know how that works, but let it rip. But I'm Jake.
I'm Kevin.
Thanks for watching. Catch you in the finals.